Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for another episode of our ongoing series about the enslaved community in 1843. Last time we discussed the 5 members of the Treadwell family who lived in the 21st slave dwelling. Another family of 7 enslaved persons lived with them, including 31-year-old Betty Brickhouse Horton and her children, 18-year-old Rebecca Horton, 9-year-old Ellen Horton, 7-year-old Annette Horton, 4-year-old Hobart Horton, 2-year-old Jane Horton, and a newborn named Tiny Horton. Betty's husband Dave Horton was enslaved by Ebenezer Pettigrew on the neighboring Banarva plantation, so he did not live with his family. Since legal status always followed the mother, Dave and Betty's children lived and worked at Somerset Place and were enslaved by the Collins family. However, enslaved people had freedom of movement between Somerset Place and Banarva, enabling Dave to see his wife and kids at night and on Sundays. By day, Dave was an enslaved overseer for the Pettigrews, and he attempted to escape to freedom twice. Over the years, Dave and Betty had at least 12 children, but the couple did not live to see emancipation like some of their children. 2 of their daughters, Rebecca and Annette, were laundresses who washed and ironed clothing for the Collins family in the original laundry building you see here at Somerset Place. During the Civil War, the 2 sisters were hired out to the North Carolina Railroad Company to, quote, wash clothes for men on the railroad. Rebecca and Annette also started families. Rebecca married Matthias Sawyer, and after emancipation, the couple had 2 children and worked as day laborers for Arthur Collins on Weston Farm. We'll talk more about Matthias's family in our next video. Meanwhile, Annette had married coachman Joshua Baum, whom we discussed in our previous video about the Baum family. After emancipation, Annette and Joshua remained at Somerset Place and became communicants of St. David's Episcopal Church. According to local tradition, Annette worked as a midwife in the surrounding communities, delivering both black and white babies. 3 other Horton siblings, who were listed in 1843, lived to see emancipation: Ellen, Hobart, and Jane. Ellen had 3 children born into slavery with her first husband, but family tradition states that he was sold. She later remarried and had 10 more children, most of whom were born free. Like several of his siblings, Hobart Horton was hired out to the North Carolina Railroad Company during the Civil War. He later had 9 children over 2 marriages after emancipation. Lastly, his younger sister Jane married Theodore Roberts, son of coachman Wellington Roberts, whom we talked about in our video about the Martin home. You can watch that video and the others we mentioned earlier by clicking the links here. You can also click subscribe to receive notifications about our latest YouTube videos. And until next time, thanks for watching.